What is up, everybody? Andrew here. I've got a much anticipated video for me to you about my 2019 Hobie Pro Angler 14. I bought this in January. It's August. I've had a few months to rig it out to how I like it, how I want it, and this is that video. We're going to start at the bow, work our way to the stern. I'm going to talk about everything I got on the kayak, what I like, what I might not like, and give you some pointers for your rigging of your kayak. So let's take a look. Right up here we've got a net that I just recently bought. It rests up here. It doesn't move because this is kind of rubbery, and I'm eventually, I think, going to get a rotomolded paddle grip for right here, because that fits right in it and it really won't go anywhere. Also keep my hog trough right here, slides in and out. I thought about keeping it behind me, but I really like it up there. I don't go in here very much, that this gets annoying, so I leave it up here. I like it there. I took the bucket out, but inside the bucket I've got fishing regulations, I've got rain jacket, rain pants, I've got a pee bottle, and an anchor. And that goes in here. I'm going to take these things off. Undo the bungees. Come up. Inside here, I've got the Yak Power 8-circuit control module. It's Wi-Fi, so I can control it from my phone. And this is the NEMA 2000 cutting board. And then this is on a couple more of those roto-molded paddle holders that fit perfectly on the sail mast, and that doesn't fall off. It slides down a little bit, but doesn't fall off. And I really like the way that that is. It's super clean when the wires are pushed back. I mean, that just looks stock. Moving on to this side, we've got a ram mount GoPro holder. This is one of the kind of the mistakes that I made. I would not really recommend this for the Pro Angler because it picks up a lot of the pedal vibration. If I'm talking and pedaling at the same time, it picks up a lot of the back and forth motion. So I really like the camera angle that it provides, but in terms of sound, I really don't like to use this one for sound. Moving back slightly, as you can kind of see underneath, right here is a blue Yak Power light. I got 2 of those up here. I eventually want to add 2 more back there, but Bass Pro didn't have any. So I really like that. I went night fishing for the first time a couple weeks ago, and they work really well to illuminate the cockpit. I got a cleat here and a cleat here. If I'm using an anchor, I can lock it up there pretty good. I got 2 tools over here. I got some pliers and then fish grips. This is my main rod holder right here. This is a Yak Attack Omega Pro with a 4-inch extension, and I really like it. It rotates really nicely. It won't come off because of the way that it's designed. It's like a trigger, and it won't come off. So it locks. I like the way the rod's sitting in there. If you saw my shark fishing video, I had a rod here in this one, and the shark bit it and it did not come out, and it was great. I've got the Lowrance Elite 9 Ti. This is last year's model. I bought this on sale in February when it was like $500 off. It was a good deal, and I really like it. I mainly use it for the map and the depth because I don't really fish deep water to where I'm fishing for fish underneath me. I'm usually casting to the mangroves and trying to sight cast and stuff like that. Right here I've got the Ram X grip to hold my phone. It holds it nice and secure in there. until it gets too hot, and then I put it in here, the center hatch. Inside the center hatch, I have a couple of 3400s. This is for my car key, because my car key is $500, and this costs $5, I think. So that's a no-brainer. And here's my repair kit, tool kit. It's not really, it's just a bunch of tools in case anything comes loose, a couple of nuts and whatnot. I got the power pole remote and some 8 cents. And I got an air horn, mini air horn just in case. I really like this. I might get the Burley Pro organizer that just came out, but I'm waiting a little bit to see if I need anything else, because you always have to pay shipping from Mariner Sales. But obviously this is the bucket. I don't really store anything up here other than maybe a bag of soft plastics. One thing I forgot, this was probably the first thing that I bought, is the leash. I never go anywhere without the leash hooked up to the Mirage Drive. This thing costs $850 if you were to lose it, which is like a quarter of the overall price of the kayak. And for $25, it's just a no-brainer. It's not going to go anywhere. It's very strong. It's really a no-brainer. So moving back, we've got my PFD, is the NRS Chinook. I really like it. If you've seen any of my kayaking videos when I'm out on the water, it is always on. There's no reason to take it off. It's that comfortable. Along the sides, a lot of questions on the Hobie group is, what do you do? How do you store your tackle and whatnot? I absolutely love this setup. I've got a prison pocket right here, which has a spot for scissors, pliers, a bag of soft plastics, and a waterproof 3600. On the side here, this is the jig bucket, which is just too small to fit a 3600, so it fits a 3500, which is perfect for all my terminal tackle hooks and jig heads and whatnot. And I'm sure I could store more in there, but that's what I store in these. And then here I've got some shark fishing stuff, and then I have this exact setup on the other side over here, where I have some baits, the bucktails, and then I have more jig heads on the other side and another 3600. I have another pair of scissors on the other side as well. Underneath my seat is where I keep my day food. This is a Seattle Sports Frost Pack 25 quart. It is a great cooler for the day. I would not use that cooler on an overnight or multi-day trip. It just would not keep the ice very well. I put about 6 pounds of ice in there in the morning, and about 10 hours later it's mostly water, but my food is cold, and that's all that matters, and my drinks. And the reason I got this, if you haven't seen my other video, is I was not drinking enough on the water when I had everything stored in the hatch, or I was mainly using shrimp behind me, so that wasn't an option. So I needed something underneath me, and I drink a lot more on the water now that it's underneath me. So these are mirror sides again, because I like just the way I like it. I've got a cup holder here, and I've got a cup holder on the other side, and I have another Omega Pro rod holder, and this is my landing rod holder, so if I land a fish I can put the rod in here and it'll be in front of me, the line, and I can unhook without having to hold on to the rod. Also, I can also use this if I'm trolling behind me and I don't need it to be out far. Then I'll use this one if I'm going to use really like a spread pattern. I can just rotate that, and then I can have the rod out on both sides behind me. I always keep a towel behind me to wipe my hands or just clean off my face or do whatever. That's really handy. I've got the Vantage seat bag. In here I have first aid kit, some sunscreen, a couple of like Tylenol, aspirin, Advil type things. I keep my buff in here. I keep my sun gloves in here so that when I wash them I can put them right back in here and know that I always have them, because being protected on the water is super important. I actually don't put much sunscreen on anymore because I'm covered from head to toe, as you've seen in one of my previous videos. Right here, Engel 30 quart bait cooler. Like I said, I haven't been using shrimp lately. We've just been fishing with artificials, and it's been going really well, so I don't know the next time I'm gonna actually use shrimp, but I use this as my catch cooler now. I just take this out and I can fill this with about 15 pounds of ice, and then it starts to get a little tight in there. But I put the fish in one of these dollar store bags because they start to smell. It'll smell up the cooler, and that's just not what I'm interested in. These cost $1, so I can use it, and if they start to smell, I can just toss it without fear of wasting a lot of money. And then I made this latch system out of a beaner and some 1-inch nylon webbing and a buckle. And I'm able to disconnect that, pull it out, because when I use the wheels, they come up through the scuppers and this will be in the way. So I can just pull that out and put it in. I was originally using the bungee, and it was a pain in the rear end, and I do not like it, and I will not do that again. So I came up with this, and you know, it was quite overkill. Cost like maybe $15 or $20 for both sides, but that's the way I like it, and that's the way it's going to stay. I wanted to get these for this to make it look neat and the same, but these are like $15 a piece, and that's just a little excessive. I had to curb my OCD-ness for a little bit. Moving on to the H-Crate and the H-Crate cover that my buddy Chris gave to me. He got his H-Crate because he puts his cooler in it. And I love the cover because I can roll down the highway and not have to worry about things flying around. Got a couple of storage things full of bait. I use this deep 3700 for a lot of soft plastics. I could probably fit about 40 bags in there, and that is all that I should need. I absolutely love this. This is the Plano leader spool box, and you could fit 6 spools of different size leaders, except this one, the 150. The 150 is too thick to fit through this hole, unless I drill it out and make it bigger, but I'm not interested in doing that at the moment, so I just leave that one loose. But I love being able to, if you get broken off by a tree, because I get broken off by the trees all the time, I can just pull this out, take a piece out over here, and then put it back, and I don't have too many loose things rolling around. A couple more soft plastics, some gulp. There's a fillet knife in here somewhere. I like Cuda. Seem to be working well so far. And then I zip it up, and I can reach the zipper with these pull tabs. I can reach the zipper from my seat all the way around without really having to get up. So I really like that. And this cover just works really well. And then I can always grab a couple of bungees if I'm going camping or whatnot and strap a couple of dry bags on here if that were the way I was going. You might be asking what this is. Well, this is a starport, and that is the Burley Pro orb. It is super bright. I used it for the first time the other day. It worked really well. It lit up everything around me. I don't think I was visible in the GoPro. I haven't really looked at that footage, but it's super bright, and when I'm out on the water and it's dark, I need boats to be able to see me. So that is that. You should not get the green and red lights for your kayak if you're not under power, and this is all you need to be legal. So that, with the blue lights up front, I'm able to see what I need to see on the water. Under here is the rear hatch, and in the rear hatch is where I store the batteries. I usually take them out when I'm not on the water. This is a 17.5 milliamp battery, and I have 2 of them, and it fits right in there. I was kind of disappointed with these batteries because what I wanted to do was run the whole system off of these 2 batteries, including this power pole, and that's why I installed this three-way through hull adapter so you can run the wires through here, and it looks pretty clean. It's the same ones that come standard right there and right here to run the wires through. They didn't have enough power to keep the fish finder running while this was being deployed up and down. The fish finder was cutting in and out, and it was very irritating, and then this just didn't have enough power because it pulls so much. So I got the Power Pole micro anchor battery, and I've had no problems. So this, when these are fully charged, I can run that fish finder for probably days. I don't have much more to run during the day. We'll eventually add a USB so I can charge some stuff on the water using this without having to take an extra battery. Having 4 batteries on the kayak is somewhat overkill, but that's the way it is right now because I have a lot of external batteries and I don't have the USB adapter just yet from Yak Power yet. Then I told you about the wheels, a safety flag for when I'm driving down the highway, and these guys, Staro River Outfitters, are phenomenal. They will, anything you need, they'll order. They're super knowledgeable. I love that shop. I try to buy everything I can from that shop, but a lot of the stuff they just don't carry, like the Burley Pro and the FPV I get from Mariner Sales. They ship super quick. On this side, I've got the 2 roto-mold paddle holders. I keep my paddle here on the side. I like it there. It's out of the way. I don't use these holders here because I just got stuff in the way. Holding up my fish finder is the Ram 1.5 inch. I have it down here. It stays out of the way. I don't hit it when I'm kayaking, when I'm pedaling. I really like the way that it's set up. It's not in the way. It's super strong. When I'm going down the highway and I put it in my truck, I can just fold it down and I can close my tonneau cover, and then I can just rotate it back up and we're good to go. I don't unplug it. I keep everything going. One thing I've gotten good at is just getting stuff where it needs to be quickly to maximize my time on the water. And this is my cart that I built, and it rolls. It's got 3-inch casters and it rolls around super easy. And I also have the bar to go into the hitch so that I support the back. This was one of my mistakes. This was the Park and Pole by Yak Attack. I don't use it and I need to sell it because I have the Power Pole spike, not the ultralight one. And that's gonna do it for my kayak. I really like it. I love fishing it. I'm gonna continue to fish it. Give me a thumbs up, hit that red subscribe button. You can't leave a comment because YouTube's stupid. We'll see you in the next video.